Gee whiz.
Hello, friends. My name is John Henderson, and welcome to this series of old-time radio show episodes called Gee Whiz. These are stories of the schemes, trials, and loves of the typical American teenagers, Andy Hardy, Archie Andrews, and Henry Aldrich. Coming up a little later on, Henry gets into a fight about a hand-me-down suit, and Archie versus a mouse. But first, let's go back to the old days. A time before Lego, before Mr. Potato Head, before Etch-a-Sketch. In the 1940s, they made wooden toys, some plastic toys, and toys were also made out of tin with complex inner workings, gears and springs. These were quaint toys. Listen to this episode of The Aldrich Family from November 11th, 1948.
It's The Aldrich Family.
Sure, it's The Aldrich Family, presented by the Jell-O family.
Jell-O. Oh, Meredith Wilson.
Well, it's my talking people.
Beep, 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 beep. Auga, auga.
Hey, what is this, a traffic jam?
We're trying out auto horns.
Auto horns? What in the world for?
For Henry Aldrich.
Oh?
We're getting him a present for his car.
Oh, a present. Well, Henry doesn't have...
How about a horn that goes beep, 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 beep?
Well, there's something to toot your horn about.
Jell-O, the world's most famous shivering dessert.
And it comes in 6 delicious flavors. Jell-O also stands for those smooth-as-cream Jell-O puddings.
How about an auto horn that plays the tapioca polka?
Look, I've been trying to tell you, Henry does not even have a car.
Oh?
Yes.
How would the tapioca polka sound on a bicycle bell?
The tapioca polka would sound good anywhere because it stands for Jell-O tapioca puddings in 3 wonderful flavors. Why, they're the puddings with a personality.
And dimples.
Yes.
Shall we dance?
Well, why not?
Jell-O vanilla tapioca. Jell-O chocolate tapioca. Jell-O orange. That means orange coconut.
And they cook to perfection in just about 5 minutes. Jell-O tapioca puddings.
But you won't like them. Whoa, no, not much. Hey, look at that clock. It's time for...
The Aldrich Family, based on characters originated by Clifford Goldsmith and starring Ezra Stone as Henry with Jackie Kelk as Homer.
Henry Aldrich.
Coming, Mother.
The everyday life of an average teenage boy like Henry Aldrich is always a highly involved affair. And no matter how hard his parents try, they rarely seem to simplify things. The scene opens on Kathleen Anderson's front porch. It is Saturday afternoon.
Ring the doorbell, Homer.
Boy, Henry, if Kathleen's father had barred me from their house for 3 weeks, I wouldn't come running back on my hands and knees.
Homer, Mr. Anderson had every right.
He did.
Well, sure. Quiet, Homer. I hear someone coming. Wipe your feet.
Before we even know if we're welcome.
Oh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Anderson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Anderson. It's a nice afternoon, isn't it?
It is?
Yes, sir. It's such a nice afternoon, we thought, why not come over and pass the time of day with good old Kathleen?
I see.
And her family.
Well, you're here, so come in. Kathleen, Henry is here.
He is? Well, my goodness, tell him I'll be down in just a second.
She'll be down in just a second.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Well,
it's a nice afternoon.
It's good seeing you again, Mr. Anderson.
Again? Oh, yes, it's been nearly a week since you've been here, hasn't it?
Why, I think it's closer to 3.
You don't say.
Uh-huh.
Time certainly passes quickly under favorable conditions.
Did I mention that it's a very nice afternoon?
You did. Now, if you'll excuse me.
You're leaving, Mr. Anderson?
It's such a nice afternoon, I think I'll go down in the basement.
Oh, Mr. Anderson.
Yes, Henry?
I just thought you'd like to know that this time I plan to keep an eye on my elbows every minute I'm here.
Fine.
Homer, stop walking around. I told you to keep your eyes on your feet.
I am, Henry. Gee whiz, I know exactly where they are. Which is the lamp you broke?
The table lamp there.
No kidding. Gee, you can hardly tell it's been damaged.
Homer, before it ran into my elbows, it was a floor lamp.
Oh. Gee, no wonder things get broken. Look at this toy lying here on the edge of the coffee table, right where anyone could knock it off.
Homer, put it down. It probably belongs to Kathleen's little brother.
I'm just moving it to a spot where it won't cause any trouble.
But, Homer...
Oh, boy.
Homer...
Henry, it went off by itself.
Well, stop it.
How?
Whack that button gently.
Oh, boy.
Henry!
Oh, gee whiz. Yes, Kathleen?
Would you please see who's on the phone?
The phone? Kathleen, I think it must have been a wrong number. Homer, put that toy back where it was.
Sure, Henry. Only, do you happen to know where this little man goes in the spring?
Gee whiz, Homer, where did they come from?
Henry, I give you my word, I just picked the toy up and it came apart in my hand.
Well, fix it, Homer, fix it, or I'll never be able to look him in the face again.
Henry, if worse came to worse, you could tell him I broke it.
You?
I don't mind not looking him in the face again.
That wouldn't help, Homer. He always lumps us together.
Now, Bob, come along.
Oh, boy, it's Mrs. Anderson. Homer, grab the toy and let's beat it.
Beat it, but we just came.
Homer, we have to fix it before Mr. Anderson finds out. And this is no place to do it.
Bob?
Quick, hide the toy under your jacket.
Henry, quit. I'm ticklish.
There.
Well, hello, boys.
Hello, Mrs. Anderson.
Hello, Mrs. Anderson.
Homer, aren't you putting on a little weight?
Why, I guess it's the way I'm built. More or less.
Well, sit down, boys, and make yourselves comfortable.
Sit down.
Why, we were just thinking of stepping out for a breath of air.
Sure. I always take a breath about now.
Shall I tell Kathleen you'll be right back?
Why, that depends on how quickly... That depends. Come on, Homer.
It's been nice seeing you again.
Bob, you shouldn't have mentioned Homer's weight. The Browns are very sensitive about their shapes.
That's strange. It's gone.
What is?
Herbert's toy. I put it here on the coffee table while I went down to the basement for a screwdriver.
Is that why I found you working that jigsaw puzzle?
I wasn't working it. I just happened to open it and... Phyllis, does this piece look like an ear or a mountain?
Looks more like a part of a horse to me. Now, Bob, I want you to find that toy and fix it. Every time Herbert picks it up, it practically comes apart in his hand.
Alice!
Yes, Sam?
Who was that on the phone?
The phone? No one, dear.
I thought I heard it ring.
It must have been your imagination.
Now, Alice, you're not suggesting I'm hearing things.
Mother!
Yes, Mary?
Please tell Henry to respect my property.
Mary, your nail file is family property.
Henry Aldrich, what a terrible thing to say.
Mary, if Henry's finally come to the point where he'd like to use a nail file, I don't think we should stand in his way.
But that's just it, Mother. He doesn't intend to use it for his nails.
What's that?
Look, Mother, there's a quick repair job Homer and I are doing in the kitchen, and a nail file's just the tool we need.
In that case, Henry, I'm afraid Mary's within her rights.
Yes, and I stand on them.
Okay, Mary, okay. But just wait until you want to use my baseball bat.
Your baseball bat?
Sure, to bang together her vanity table. Homer!
Mary, did you hear the phone ringing a few minutes ago?
Mary's nail file is out.
I swear I heard a bell.
Henry, why don't we just give up trying to fix this toy and throw ourselves on Mr. Anderson's mercy?
But, Homer, we're making progress.
We are.
Sure.
Henry, how many springs were loose when we left the Andersons 10 minutes ago?
1.
How many are loose now?
3.
I wouldn't call that progress.
But we got the little man back on, didn't we?
Sure, but he's standing on his head.
Homer, if he fits on that way, it must be right. Besides, I think a couple of the springs go in here, like this. You see?
Oh, what about that one?
Gee, that one could go any place. Here, for instance.
Well, I'll be darned. Henry, you did it.
I did? It's fixed.
It must be. There aren't any springs left. Gee, even the bell works.
Well, what do you know?
Henry, I never realized it before, but you've got a head.
Well, never mind that, Homer. Now let's hurry and get it back into Kathleen's house before anyone notices it's gone. Come on upstairs.
Okay, what for?
I've got a swell shoebox up there. We can smuggle it back in.
Operator, I distinctly heard the phone ring just now.
Father, could Homer and I please pass?
Oh, just a moment, operator. There.
Thank you, Father. Homer, we've got to get back to Kathleen.
Now, see here, operator. This is the second time this afternoon my phone is rung, and there's been nobody there.
I'll notify our repair department, sir.
I wish you would. Goodbye.
Sam, what's the matter? You're all flushed.
You'd think the phone company would arrange it so that when a phone rings, there'd be someone at the other end.
Oh?
What do you mean by a statement like that?
Nothing, dear. Only, don't you think perhaps you've been working a little too hard recently?
Alice, are you inferring... Are you... Don't be ridiculous. There. There it goes again.
Sam, that's the doorbell.
Oh.
Mother, the back door's ringing.
Yes, dear. Would you please see who it is? I'm talking to your father.
All right, Mother.
Alice, if you're going to talk to anyone, talk to the phone company.
Dear, I'm not married to the phone company.
Coming. Oh.
Well, how do you do, miss?
Oh, my goodness, officer. What did we do? What did we do?
Well, miss, the police department is collecting old clothes and toys for Christmas bundles.
Well, my goodness. Come in.
Thanks.
Now, let's see. Let's see, what could I possibly give you? Would you be interested in some old pots and pans? No? Well, let's see.
Something like that old toy there on the kitchen table would be perfect.
My goodness, where did this come from? It must be one of Henry's old ones. But I'm sure he'd be delighted to donate it to such a worthy cause. Here.
Thanks a lot. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye. And, officer, wouldn't you like to leave your phone number? I mean, in case I run into any more old things.
Bob Anderson, once and for all, you're not going to spread that jigsaw puzzle on my dining room table.
Why not?
Because you promised to fix Herbert's toy.
Phyllis, I've looked all over for it, and I can't find it.
My goodness, Mother, where is he? Where did he go?
Who, Kathleen?
Henry, I can't find him anywhere.
Oh, he left 15 minutes ago, dear, and he hasn't come back.
Father, you didn't say anything to Henry to drive him away, did you?
I hardly said 2 words to him.
That's it, then. That's it. He thought you were still mad
This
at
piece
him.
here must be hair. I found part of a nose.
Father, aren't you listening to
Or
me?
is it the trunk of a tree?
Father, how can you play with that childish puzzle when you may be driving a son-in-law right out of my life?
What's that?
Mother, stranger things had happened, and I think the least Father can do is to let Henry know he didn't mean what he said.
Very well, Kathleen. I'll talk to him.
I'll answer the phone. Only if it's Henry, I'll just die of embarrassment.
Phyllis, where's the top of the box this puzzle came in?
Now, Bob.
Hello?
Look, Kathleen.
Henry, is that you?
Sure. And look, something terrible's just happened. Mary's just ruined everything.
Henry, what are you talking about?
Look, Kathleen, the reason I suddenly left your house this afternoon...
Henry, I know all about that.
You do?
Yes, and just as soon as my father calms down, he's going to speak to you.
Oh, boy. I guess I better go straight down to the police department.
What?
Goodbye.
Henry, wait! Whatever my father said, I'm sure he didn't mean it. But, Henry, I'm allergic to police stations.
But, Homer, we just have to get Herbert's toy back, and that's all there is to it.
I know, only these pictures on the walls give me the willies.
Just don't look at them.
I can't help looking at them. Say, Henry, look at this dead or alive picture. Doesn't it look familiar?
It does?
Sure. If you shave off the mustache, it looks just like one of our teachers.
Which one?
Miss Eggleston.
Homer.
Although, who'd want to give $500 to get Miss Eggleston back?
Here's the room where the sergeant said they're keeping the toys. Larceny squad. Come on.
Okay. But I'm expecting your father to defend me. For nothing.
Boy, are we in luck, Homer. There's no one in here.
Gee, look at all the toys. Look at all the toys.
Homer, stop playing with them.
I'm not. But isn't this a swell steam shovel?
Homer, look! There's Herbert's toy.
Where?
At the bottom of the pile. See the little man poking out alongside that tank?
Oh, boy. Grab it, Henry.
stuck under something.
Henry, look out. Oh, boy.
Henry, I've got it. I've got it. Let's beat it.
Hello there, boys.
Homer, it's a policeman.
We'll get life. Look, officer.
Bringing some toys down for our drive?
Why,
in a way we are.
That's fine. Say, do you boys have a little extra time?
Time? What for?
Well, these toys have to be packed in barrels and sent to the firehouses, and I could use a little help.
well,
It'll only take a few minutes. Just drop that toy you have there in this barrel and...
But, officer,
Henry, don't argue. Drop it.
Oh, boy.
That's it. Now, let's start packing the rest of the toys on top of it.
On top of it?
Yes, sir, and away they go.
Oh, boy.
It's true, folks. More people buy Jell-O puddings than any other prepared puddings in the world. Try those brand new Jell-O tapioca puddings, newest members of the famous Jell-O pudding family. They're a miracle of goodness, a marvel of speed. Yes, Jell-O chocolate tapioca, Jell-O vanilla tapioca, and Jell-O orange coconut tapioca. All three are luscious, light, and delicate, gloriously rich and creamy, and they're ready prepared. All you do is add milk, and they cook to mellow perfection in just about 5 minutes. Ask your grocer for Jell-O tapioca puddings, and say, better ask for 3 packages while you're about it, so you'll be prepared for the weekend. That's Jell-O tapioca puddings. And now getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Early this afternoon, Henry and Homer took a toy from Kathleen Anderson's house under the misapprehension that they had broken it. When they finally repaired it, Mary inadvertently gave it away to the police toy drive. The scene opens in the Centerville Emporium. It is later the same afternoon.
Henry, if it were up to me, I'd let Mr. Anderson get mad and save my money.
Homer, I can't. Suppose someday Kathleen and I get...
Get what?
Never mind. But you wouldn't want me to go through my married life not talking to my father-in-law, would you?
Why not? That sounds like a nice arrangement.
Homer.
Besides, how do you know we can buy another toy exactly like her?
Homer, we can at least try. Here's the toy counter.
Gee, look at the swell stuff, Hen.
Homer, put that thing down. Haven't you learned your lesson yet?
I'm just admiring the construction. What do you think this button is for? Oh, boy.
Homer, now look what you've done.
I hardly touched it, Hen. It came right apart in my hand.
May I help you, young man?
Wait, I just picked this up, see, and...
Oh, yes, that's one of the cleverest toys that's come into the store in a long time. You just touch that button, and it comes apart in your hands.
It does?
It does?
And when you push it again, everything snaps right back into place. Children have the grandest time putting it together and letting it fall apart again.
I can see where they would.
May I wrap one up for you?
Why, no, thanks. What we're looking for is a toy that has a sort of a little man on top, see?
What does it do?
Do?
Well, mostly it just rings.
Well, there is one under the counter here that... Is it something like this?
Oh, boy, Homer, that's it.
You're very lucky, sir. It's the last one like it we have in stock.
We'll take it, miss. How much is it?
It's, Oh, excuse me a minute while I check the price.
Henry, you're set.
Homer, Duck.
What's wrong?
Look who's coming down that aisle.
Mr. Anderson.
Homer, quick, over this way.
But the toy.
We can come back and get it later. Hurry.
That'll be $1.49. Young man, where are you going? Well, I declare.
Excuse me, miss. Weren't there 2 boys here a moment ago?
Why, yes, they just disappeared into notions.
Oh.
May I help you with anything else?
Well, as a matter of fact, the reason I'm shopping... you sell jigsaw puzzles, don't you?
Why, yes. We're having a wonderful sale right now.
Well, I don't want to buy one. I just thought, well, you see the puzzle in this box here?
Yes.
Well, we seem to have lost the cover with a picture on it, and I wondered, could you sort of look over the pieces and give me a hint as to what it's supposed to turn out to be?
No, I'm afraid I can't do that, sir.
Oh.
But if you'd like to leave it here for a few weeks, we could put our research department to work on it.
Oh, never mind.
Excuse me, miss, but would you... How Hello, Mr. Anderson.
Hello, Mary. Say, if you run into Henry, would you tell him I'd like him to phone me?
Henry and I aren't speaking, Mr. Anderson, but I'll see that he gets the message. Is it important?
Well, Kathleen wanted me to apologize to him.
My goodness, what for?
That's what I don't know. Well, goodbye, Mary, and thanks for your help, miss.
That's quite all right, sir. Now, may I help you, madam?
Well, there was a certain toy of my brother's, you see, and I gave it away. And, well, my goodness, you'd think he'd know it was for a wonderful cause.
Well, what was this toy like?
Well, it had a little man on top, you see, and a bell that rang, and it flew.
Sam, it wouldn't hurt for you to take a few days off.
Alice, I tell you, I'm fine.
Of course you are, dear. I wasn't insinuating that. I just meant that when you start to hear bells, isn't that the first sign of...
Sign of what?
Nothing, Sam. Suppose you just lie down and I'll make you some hot tea with some honey in it.
Honey makes me lose my appetite.
Yes, Sam, but it lines your stomach. Henry, is that you?
Yes, Mother.
My goodness, what have you two boys been doing? You look all worn out.
Why, we took sort of a bicycle ride, Mother.
But they didn't have any in Abbott City either.
All the way to Abbott City? My goodness. Oh, I'm making your father some tea. Would you boys like some hot milk?
Hot milk? Henry, I think I'll go home.
Oh, I almost forgot. Henry, Mary asked me to give you this package.
Mary and I aren't speaking, Mother. We've broken off diplomatic relationships.
Now, dear, I think this is a peace offering. Homer, would you like some butter in that hot milk?
Butter? Well, Mrs. Aldrich, do you happen to have some strawberry syrup?
I think so.
And some club soda?
Yes.
Swell, then you can forget about the milk.
My goodness, you children never know what's good for you.
Henry, aren't you going to open it?
Open what?
Mary's present and see what she's offering for peace.
Homer, it's probably just a couple of handkerchiefs.
Henry, who do you suppose bought that toy right out from under?
I don't know. Boy, I sure wish I could lay my hands on it. Homer, what's ringing?
I think it's Mary's handkerchief. Henry, it's the toy.
Oh, boy. Homer, stop the bell.
I can't. The button's stuck.
Here, jam my fountain pen against it.
Okay. Henry, where do you suppose Mary got her hands on this?
Who cares? The important thing is we're all set.
Henry!
Oh, boy, Homer, duck that toy back in the box quick.
It's ducked.
Henry, you boys heard it that time, didn't you?
Why, you heard what, Father?
The phone ring.
I didn't hear any phone ring.
You didn't?
Sam, your tea's ready.
Alice, would you mind bringing it upstairs?
Upstairs?
I think the best thing for me to do is go right to bed.
Quiet, Homer.
Henry, are you sure the Andersons are in the dining room?
Sure, they're eating. So help me set up this stepladder under the living room window. Then all you have to do is climb up, open the window, and drop the toy in.
Me? Why me?
Homer, you mean you're scared?
Sure.
Homer.
Henry, I helped you fix the toy, and I pumped my head off to Abbott City, but I draw the line on falling off ladders.
How could you fall?
I'd manage.
Okay, Homer, okay. I'll go up. Just hold the ladder steady.
I am.
When I get up, toss me the toy.
Henry, who's that?
Well, just Kathleen's dog, Daisy. And stop rattling the ladder.
But, Henry, Daisy's resented me ever since she caught me eating one of her dog biscuits. Daisy, I apologize.
Homer, you're knocking me off.
Get down, Daisy.
Homer, never mind Daisy. Toss up the toy.
Henry, she's got my pants.
Come on, toss up the toy.
There.
Oh, boy.
Didn't you have the window open yet?
Who is that? Who's there?
Homer, quick, run.
Daisy, let go.
Who's there, I say?
Homer.
She won't let go. Daisy, please stop being a dog in the manger.
Now be sure and take plenty of warm socks, dear.
Alice, I'm only going to be gone a few days.
Sam, it won't hurt to take an extra pair.
Very well.
And, dear, I just want you to know I think you're doing the right thing. There's nothing like a fishing trip to get bells off your mind.
Alice, that has nothing to do with it. I just heard that the bass were running, and I thought...
Yes, dear, if you say so. I'll get your socks for you.
I wonder if Will Brown would be interested in going along.
Henry, is that you?
Why, yes, Mother. Has there been a phone call for Homer or I recently?
From whom, dear?
Anyone. Mr. Anderson, say?
No, dear, no one's called. Homer, how did you get your pocket torn?
My pocket? Gee whiz, I guess Daisy did that.
Daisy? My goodness, young ladies nowadays don't behave the way they used to. You'd better both sit down and cool off.
Boy, Henry, feel my heart. It's beating.
Mine, too. Homer, do you think Mr. Anderson recognized us?
If he did, he certainly would have phoned by now.
Oh, boy.
Henry, that must be him.
Henry, please answer the phone.
Aye, Mother.
Please, dear, I've got socks on my mind.
But, gee, Mother, I'm not cooled off yet.
Henry, please answer the phone.
But it might be a wrong number.
Henry!
Yes, Mother. Hello?
Is that you, Henry?
Oh, boy. Yes, Kathleen?
Henry, I'm phoning on behalf of my father.
You are? Just a minute, Kathleen. Homer, Mr. Anderson asked her to phone.
I'm going home.
You can at least give me a little moral support.
I can do that just as well from home.
Hello, Kathleen. About your father.
My goodness, Henry, he's been trying to get his hands on you all day.
I know, Kathleen. And...
Henry, do you mind if I apologize for him?
Well, sure, but if you do what for him?
Apologize for being so rude to you this afternoon.
Kathleen, you mean... Well, I'll be darned. Homer, Mr. Anderson's been after me just to apologize.
What?
Henry, have you disappeared again?
No, Kathleen, I'm right here. I think.
My father would apologize personally, only he's very upset right now.
Upset?
Yes, someone stole one of Herbert's toys and then threw it back through our living room window.
Oh. Who did a thing like that?
That's what made him so mad he doesn't know.
He doesn't? Well... Isn't that too bad? Look, Kathleen, tell him not to worry. I know where he can get a pane of glass cheap. For nothing, in fact.
Oh, but that isn't what he's really mad about. You see, when the toy came through the window, it broke up his jigsaw puzzle.
It did?
And he's simply furious. He was almost positive it was going to turn out to be Ulysses S. Grant.
Oh.
Or the Canadian Rockies.
Huh?
So can I tell him you accept his apology?
Sure, Kathleen. Gee whiz, that's the least I can do.
Oh, that's very nice of you, Henry. And you can come over and see me tomorrow.
Oh, boy. Sure.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Boy, Homer.
Henry, I've never seen anyone so lucky.
I'll say.
Henry, how would you boys like to go fishing with me?
Me, Father?
I sort of thought it might be nice to have company. You've been asking to go for years.
Oh, gee, Father, I'd like to. Only, do you think I ought to leave town just when I've cemented my relationships with Mr. Anderson?
I'd be glad to go, Mr. Aldrich.
On second thought, I'll probably have a good time alone.
But thanks just the same, Father.
Sure, thanks, Mr. Aldrich. Well, I better go home, Hen, old-timer.
Okay, I'll walk you to the door.
Thanks.
Oh, before I forget, Homer, where's my fountain pen?
What fountain pen?
That I gave you to stick in the toy to keep it from ringing.
Henry, I never took it out.
Homer, you mean it's still stuck in the toy?
I guess so.
The one that went through the window and landed on Mr. Anderson's jigsaw?
On his what?
Oh, boy.
Henry, what are you getting so excited about? That pen only cost you 50 cents.
60, Homer. It cost me 10 cents extra to have my name engraved on it.
Your name? Oh, boy.
Henry, Mr. Anderson wants to speak to you on the phone.
He does? Well, look, Mother, would you please tell him I can't talk to him now? I'm just about to leave on a fishing trip with Father.
Fellas, what you doing?
Well, gee whiz, Willie Marshall, Willie. Where'd you come from?
Henry, let's pretend we don't see him.
Okay, if that's your attitude, I was going to lend you this pair of hip boots to go fishing with your father, Henry.
Now, fat chance.
Hip boots? Oh, Willie, I apologize.
Oh, no.
But, Willie...
Don't even coax me.
But, Willie, if you lend me those hip boots, I'll even ask you over for supper.
Supper? What's in it for me? What's for dessert?
Well, what a question. With the Aldrich family, it's sure to be one of those luscious, shimmering Jell-O desserts. They're a treat to eat in all 6 delicious flavors. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. Yes, you just can't beat Jell-O for tempting fruit-like flavor. Because every Jell-O flavor is rich with that famous locked-in goodness. Flavor sealed right in so it can't get out till your first delectable spoonful. No wonder Jell-O is America's favorite gelatin dessert. So look for those big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O, and Jell-O spells a treat. And this is Dan Seymour in New York saying the Aldrich family is brought to you by the Jell-O family.
For desserts that are delicious, boy, believe me, you should know. They are made by famous Jell-O.
That was the Aldrich family from 1948. And now, the Archies.
Round and around the wheel keeps turning, while our hearts are always yearning for the dreams that never will come true. A circle of blue, 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 a circle of blue, blue, blue.
This episode of The Adventures of Archie Andrews has a great crowd of kids. They're very entertained. In it, they mention Lana Turner, Betty Grable, and Shelley Winters, actresses. And they mention the latest Disney movie, Cinderella.
Using all the magic at his command, Walt Disney brings you his wondrous all-cartoon feature, Cinderella.
You must be your fairy godmother? Of course. How'd she do it?
Here's Archie from November 11th, 1950.
The Adventures of Archie Andrews. Yes, here he is again. The young familiars and readers of Archie Comics magazine know and love so well Archie Andrews and all his gang. And now for our weekly visit to Riverdale. It's evening as we look in on the Andrews home, late evening. And we find the Andrews in the living room, but getting ready to go upstairs to sleep. Mrs. Andrews has just put out the empty milk bottles, closed the windows, and turned out the lights. And Mr. Andrews, however, is still asleep in his armchair, buried beneath his newspaper.
Well, Fred, I guess you might as well go up now and go to sleep. Fred, I said we might as well go up and go to sleep. It's almost 10:30. Fred Andrews, give me that newspaper and answer me. Oh, for pity's sake, he's fallen asleep right in that chair. Fred, wake up. Fred Andrews, wake up!
What time is it? Am I late for work? Where's my shoes? Why is it so dark?
For pity's sake, Fred, calm down. It isn't morning.
It isn't? Well, then what did you wake me up for?
I woke you up because it's time to go to sleep.
You woke me up because it's time to go to sleep? Now, Mary, what kind of sense does that make?
You're not in bed, Fred. You fell asleep in your armchair in the living room.
Well, who ever heard of waking people up so... I did? Oh. I guess I did, didn't I?
You certainly did. I couldn't let you sleep there in that chair all night, could I?
No, dear, I guess not. What time is it?
Almost 10:30.
Oh, good grief. Time sure flies. Where's Archie?
Oh, he went to bed an hour ago.
Oh, well, let's just go up, dear. Did you lock up?
Yes, dear. Everything is... Oh, dear, I left the kitchen light on.
Huh?
I left the light on in the kitchen. I'll go turn it out.
All right, dear. Ooh, I sure won't mind getting to bed tonight. No, sir. I'm so tired. Mary, what is it?
Fred, it's in there. I saw it.
Mary,
Fred, do something. Don't just stand there.
Mary,
Hurry up before it's too late.
Mary! For Pete's sake, will you calm down long enough to tell me what it is that's in there that I should do something about before it's too late for what?
Fred, don't be silly. There's a mouse in there.
A what?
A mouse. I went in to turn out the kitchen light, and the mouse ran right across the floor.
Oh, is that all?
Is that all? Fred, that mouse was as big as a cat.
How big?
Well, as big as a rat.
How big?
As big as a mouse.
That's more like it. Now, Mary, look. Will you please?
What happened?
Nothing. Mary, will you please?
I heard a scream, a horrible scream.
It's all right. Mary, will you
I
please?
thought I was just dreaming it, but then I realized it was Mom screaming.
Archie! All right. So you heard the scream and it wasn't a dream. Now, I'm trying to talk to your mother. Do you mind?
Gee, I don't mind.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Archie!
Okay, Dad, okay.
Okay. Now, there's nothing for you to get so excited about. Your mother just saw a mouse, that's all.
She was a mouse? A real live mouse?
Yes, a real live mouse. Evidently, the cold weather is bringing the mice indoors, so first thing tomorrow I'll buy some mouse traps, and then I'll try to find out where they're getting in.
Tomorrow? Tomorrow? Fred, what about tonight?
Well, there's nothing we can do tonight, dear. It's late.
Fred Andrews, you think of something to do tonight. I will not get a minute's sleep all night knowing there's a mouse running loose in the house.
Me too, Dad.
But, Mary, I
Fred?
can't... I don't...
Fred?
I won't...
Fred!
I'll do something.
Well, gee whiz, Dad, what are you going to do?
Well, I suppose the only thing I can do is go get a broom and find the mouse and kill it.
Kill it?
Yeah. Mary, a minute ago you were screaming you didn't want a mouse running loose in this house. Now you're suddenly the local chapter of the SPCA.
Well, Fred, I do want the mouse in the house, but isn't there some other way? Couldn't we get a mouse trap?
And just where are we going to get a mouse trap at this hour?
Well...
Now, the only way is for me to get a broom and try to find the mouse. Even if I don't kill it, I can probably scare it away.
All right, dear, but be careful.
Careful of what?
Well, I don't know. Just be careful.
Oh, now, Mary, let me handle this.
Oh, dear. Why did this have to happen now?
Yeah, Dad will never catch that mouse. What we need is a mouse trap.
Well, I know it, Archie. But where can we get one at this hour?
Well, I bet if I called Jughead, they'd have a mouse trap we could borrow.
Archie, they probably would, but you can't call them at this hour.
Well, why not, Mom? This is an emergency, isn't it? And how many times has Jughead come over here in the middle of the night and gotten us all out of bed?
Yes, I know.
And we got to do something about that mouse. I'm going to call Jug.
Well...
Operator, get me Riverdale 674, please.
Hope we don't wake up everyone over there.
Oh, it's not so awfully late, Mom. They may still be up.
I hope so.
Hello?
Archie, did I wake you?
No, I'm still sound asleep.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry, Jug. I was
having the most wonderful dream.
Oh, that's a shame, Jug.
I dreamt I was the only boy left in the world.
Yes, Jug.
And Lana Turner, Betty Grable, and Shelley Winters would chase me across the desert.
Jug,
And each one had an arm full of diamonds, money, and hamburgers.
Jug, I was
running and running and running. And just when I decided to let them catch me, you called up.
Jughead, look, I'm sorry to have interrupted your dream, but it's very important. There's a mouse in the house, and we don't know what to do about it.
Give it some cheese and tell it to go away.
Jug, this is no time to be funny. Do you have a mouse trap we could borrow?
Sure.
Could you bring it over?
I might as well. The dream's gone now anyway. But I hope that mouse appreciates all the trouble he's causing.
Jug, I'll explain it to him when we catch him. Now, hurry up and get over here. Take the shortcut.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Is he bringing it over?
Yes, Mom, right away. Has Dad seen the mouse yet?
Well, I don't know. He's been awfully quiet out there. Oh, dear.
I bet he got the mouse.
Fred, did you get it?
Did you kill it, Dad? Did you kill it?
What happened?
Mary, I haven't even seen the mouse yet.
What?
I just couldn't get the broom out of the broom closet.
Oh, for pity's sake. You mean you made all that noise just getting the broom?
Yes, the confounded thing was stuck in there with the dustpan, the ironing board, and the scrub bucket, and 6,000 other things. Finally lost my temper and yanked it out.
Gee whiz, I bet that mouse is gone now, sure as anything.
I'm sure it is, and a good thing, too. Now we can just forget about catching mice tonight and go to bed.
But Fred, it might come back later.
Mary, with the racket I just made, that mouse is halfway to Mouseville by this time. He probably warned all his friends to stay away from the Andrews because they scare you to death over there.
Well, Fred, this is no time for jokes. That mouse came into the house while we were both walking around down here, and if that didn't scare him away, then that noise won't either.
Yeah, Dad, and besides, Jughead's on his way over here.
Well, that's fine. I'll be glad to see him, and Jughead is on his way over here. What the dickens for?
Well, Fred...
Don't we have enough trouble now without Jughead running around here?
Oh, he won't be any trouble, Dad. He's bringing a mouse trap.
Bringing a... You mean you called him up on the telephone?
Uh-huh.
Oh, good grief. What on earth did you do that for?
Well, I thought
you can't go around waking up half the town just because there's one little mouse in here. White Department or the United States Marines. Maybe we ought to get an atom bomb for that poor little mouse.
Huh? Fred, stop getting dramatic. Jughead's a friend of ours, and I'm sure it's no trouble for him to bring a mousetrap over here. And then all we have to do is set it and get to bed. I'm sure I'll sleep better if I know we have a trap set.
Oh, Mary, sometimes
Oh, gee whiz, I'll bet that's Jughead already.
Oh, fine. Mary, why must you make such a big fuss over nothing?
Fred, I'm sorry, but I just can't stand the thought of mice.
Then don't think about it.
Fred, don't be funny and open the door.
All right, I'm not being funny. I'm simply...
Hello.
Good grief, Jughead.
What'd you expect, Cinderella?
No, Jughead. I unfortunately expected you. Come on in.
Hiya, Jug. Thanks a lot for coming over here so quick.
Yes, Jughead, it was very sweet of you, and we wouldn't have troubled you
Mary, look, we can pay Jughead our deep debt of gratitude some other time. Right now, I want to catch that mouse and get to bed. Did you bring a mousetrap, Jughead?
Uh-huh. An automatic mousetrap that my Uncle Herman invented.
Jughead, what are you talking about?
Well, it's a great invention, Mr. Andrews, and it works swell. Here, see?
Jughead, this is nothing but an old cigar box.
Sure. That's what makes it such a great invention.
What makes this an automatic mousetrap?
Oh, it's simple. I'll show you. See, you open the box like this.
Yeah?
And when the mouse goes in here...
Yes?
You close the box and the mouse is automatically trapped.
Oh, I see. That's pretty clear. Automatically trapped. Jughead, do you mean to tell...
Don't lose your temper.
Temper, Mary, don't temper me.
Jughead, that trap is no good at all. That's what everybody says. So I put over another one.
Another what?
Mousetrap. The regular kind. Here.
Well, that's better. For a minute, I was afraid you wanted us to use that cigar box nonsense. Well, this is more like it. Let's see, how does this gadget work?
Well, you pull that wire spring way back and hold it in place with this little hook here.
Oh, all right. Well, there we are. Now, we get some cheese, and that mouse is as good as out of business right now.
Yeah, thanks a lot for bringing this over, Jug. That's okay. We never use it.
Oh, my finger! Oh, my finger! Oh!
That's why we never use it. It always slips.
Now he tells me. Oh, my finger, get it off me.
Hold still, Dad. Hold still, and I'll open the trap.
All right. Here, hurry up.
Just lift this gadget up, and there, take your finger out.
Oh, thank heavens for that. Oh, Mary, that darn thing nearly killed me.
Imagine what it would do to a mouse.
Jughead, that's not very funny. And it wouldn't do a thing to a mouse if it won't stay open for 2 seconds. What's the idea of bringing a thing like...
Fred, this is no time to argue. Run upstairs and soak your finger in cold water before it gets all swollen.
All right, Mary, all right. But you listen to me. You get that Jughead and that trap out of this house before I come down here again. They're both a menace to life and limb. Oh, my poor finger. Oh.
Gee whiz, I'm sorry about that, Mrs. Andrews.
Jughead, it wasn't your fault. Mr. Andrews is just being unreasonable.
But, Mom, now what are we going to do about that mouse?
Archie, I don't know.
Maybe I'd better call Betty.
And wake her, too?
Oh, Betty won't mind, Mom. It's just next door.
Oh, but I hate to.
Oh, gee whiz, Mom, we got to do something.
Well...
Operator, get me Riverdale 452, please.
Tomorrow we better go out and buy a dozen mousetraps and keep them in the house.
Yes, Mom, we sure should. Hello, Betty. This is Archie. Archie Andrews.
What do you want?
We got a mouse.
Congratulations.
Betty, you don't understand. There's a mouse in the kitchen. Understand? A real live mouse.
What's his name?
Well, he didn't tell me. Betty, it's a mouse. He hasn't got a name.
Oh, poor little mouse with no name.
Oh, Betty, will you please wake up? We gotta catch a mouse.
You'll never do it. Mice run faster than you do.
Oh, great.
What's the matter?
She's half asleep, Mom. Oh, I'll fix that. Hello, Betty. Would you like to go to the dance Saturday night?
Oh, Archie, I'd love to.
I thought that would wake her up. Betty, look, I'll be glad to take you to that dance. All you have to do is lend us a mousetrap.
A mousetrap? Why? Is there a mouse in your house?
Oh, no. Betty, yes, there's a mouse in our house.
Well, golly, why didn't you say so? I'll find a mousetrap and bring it right over.
That'll be fine, Betty. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Bye now.
Goodbye. Well, she finally understood what I was talking about.
Is she bringing a trap over?
Yeah, right away.
Well, that's good.
Oh, my poor finger.
Oh, Fred, how do they feel now?
Oh, just like it's been caught in a mousetrap. Now, Mary, would you please send Jughead home and forget all this mouse nonsense for tonight?
But, Fred,
And tomorrow morning, I promise to buy all the mouse traps you need. And I'll find the mouse holes, and I'll stuff them all up, and we'll have no more trouble with mice.
Fred, you don't understand. Betty's bringing over a mouse trap.
Betty's bringing a mouse trap. Mary, how did she hear about this?
I called her, Dad.
You called her? Oh, no. Archie, how many times must I tell you? You can't go calling half the town at this hour just because of a mouse. It just so happens I'd like to get to sleep tonight.
So would the mice.
Jughead, don't be funny.
Oh, Fred, that's probably Betty already, so stop making such a fuss. Archie, answer that. Please.
Okay, Mom.
Oh, me.
Hello, Archie.
Hiya, Betty. Betty, what's that?
I couldn't find a mousetrap, Archie, so I just brought my cat.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
She was a walking mousetrap.
Jughead, for the last time, be quiet. Betty, what the dickens are you doing here with that cat?
I just told you, Mr. Andrews. If you have a mouse here, Tommy will catch it for you in no time.
Ooh, sure. Say, Betty, you may have something there. Does this cat like to catch mice?
Oh, sure, Mr. Andrews. He's the best mouse catcher you ever saw. Aren't you, Tommy?
Well, Fred, do you think we should?
Well, why not, Mary? After all, a cat's the best thing in the world for a mouse.
Bet the mouse doesn't think so.
Oh, Jug, be quiet. All right, Betty, we'll try your cat.
Sure, Dad. I bet Tommy catches that mouse in a minute.
Sure, unless the mouse catches him.
Jughead, be quiet. All right, Betty, turn the beast loose and let's see what he does.
All right, Mr. Andrews, you watch. He'll go right after that mouse. Now go ahead, Tommy. Catch the naughty mouse. Go on, Tommy.
Oh, fine. He doesn't even budge.
Mouse, Tommy. Mouse.
Maybe he doesn't speak English.
Jug, be quiet.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tommy. Find the mouse. Find the mouse.
Go ahead, Tommy. Find the mouse.
Go on, Tommy. Find the mouse.
It's just a nitsy-bitsy mouse, Tommy.
Jughead, I thought I told you.
She was Mr. Andrews. I'm just trying to help.
Well, you've been enough help already. Betty, evidently Tommy is uninterested in the subject of mice.
Well, maybe he just hasn't got the smell of the mouse yet.
Yeah, maybe this mouse uses Mom.
Fred, maybe we should give this up. The cat doesn't seem to want to...
Now, Mary, don't jump to conclusions. The poor cat doesn't know what this is all about yet. After all, the mouse wasn't even in this room. It was out in the kitchen.
Oh, no wonder. Then we better take him out there.
Of course. And what's more, we'll lock him in there for the night.
For the night?
Well, yes, Betty, if you don't mind. After all, you can't catch a mouse in 2 minutes, you know. We just have to leave the cat in there, and then we can all go to sleep, and if that mouse shows up any time during the night, he'll wish he hadn't.
Well, Fred, do you think that's wise?
Well, can you think of a better plan?
Well, no.
All right, then the cat stays here. Come on. In you go, Tommy. There we are. Now close the door, Archie.
Okay, Dad. Hey, look. Where's he running to?
Golly, maybe he sees the mouse.
Well, I don't see any mouse.
Tommy jumped up to that open window.
Oh, good grief. He's jumping out.
Oh, my cat. My poor cat. He's gone.
Oh, Betty,
He'll get lost or stolen or hurt.
Betty,
maybe he'll never come back home again.
Betty, please, now don't start crying over an old cat.
Fred, that's her pet cat. You've got to go look for him.
Yes, I know, dear, and I'll look for him. Who's got to look for him?
You and Jughead and Betty. You can't let the cat get lost.
But who?
After all, the poor child was nice enough to bring the cat over here just for us.
But who?
The least we can do is to help her find it now.
But who?
Why, if that cat gets lost, I'd never feel the same.
You'd never feel the same. Mary, how do you think I'm going to feel running around in the middle of the night looking for a cat? Well, that cat could be any place by now.
Fred?
I don't want to go running all over... Oh, all right, Mary, all right. There's no sense arguing with you when you get that look in your eye. Come on, kids. We'll go cat hunting.
Oh, golly, I'm awfully sorry to put you to all this trouble, Mr. Andrews, but I'd just die if anything happened to Tommy.
All right, Betty. We'll find him. I don't know why, but we'll find him.
Yeah, don't worry, Betty. We'll get him.
Archie, you stay here.
Oh, but, Mom, I want to...
You can't go running around town in bare feet and pajamas. I'm sure your father and Betty and Jughead can find the cat themselves.
She was okay, Mom.
Now, Betty, you look down that way.
All right, Mr. Andrews.
Jughead, you go look down that way.
Okay.
And I'll go to bed.
What?
I mean, I'll go over that way. But I don't know why.
And Fred, be careful.
Careful of what?
I don't know, but be careful. Never in all my days seen anything like this. I knew that cat idea wouldn't work.
Yeah, and we still haven't caught that mouse.
No, and I don't know how we're going to now.
Well, I could call Veronica and see if she has a mouse trap.
Veronica? Oh, now, Archie, we can't go bothering her, too.
But, Mom, we got to do something. That cat idea didn't help us at all.
Yes,
and besides,
but dear...
Veronica stays up pretty late. Maybe we wouldn't even be waking her.
Well...
Operator, get me Riverdale 318, please.
I hope she's not asleep.
Oh, even if she is, Mom, she won't mind.
Hello?
Hello, Veronica. This is Archie.
Oh. Hello, Archie. Hi, y'all, Archie-kin. It's awful nice to hear your voice, Archie.
Archie, for pity's sake, stop that giggling and tell her about the mouse.
Huh? Oh, okay, Mom. Hello, Veronica. Have you got a mouse trap?
A mouse trap? Archie, what on earth are you talking about?
A mouse trap. We got a mouse running around the kitchen, and we need something to catch him with.
My goodness, did you call up at this time of night just to ask me that?
Uh-huh.
My goodness. Well, I don't know if we have a mouse trap or not, but I'll look around and see.
Gee, I'd appreciate it if you would, Veronica.
All right. Bye.
Bye. I think she was just a little annoyed, Mom.
You see, I told you not to call her.
Oh, it's okay, Mom. She'll get over it.
Mary, I give up.
Fred, did you find the cat?
I certainly did not, and I'm not looking for it anymore. I went all up and down the block and looked in every driveway and every backyard, and there wasn't a sign of that cat.
Oh, dear. Fred, what'll we do? Betty'll be heartbroken.
Mary, what can we do? I can't go searching the whole city for a cat. If Betty's so upset, I'll buy her a new one, that's all.
Mrs. Andrews, I found him. I found him.
Gee whiz, look, it's Betty's cat.
Oh, Betty, that's wonderful. Where was he?
On our front porch. When he jumped out the window, he ran right home. Didn't you, pussy wussy?
Oh, fine. Well, Betty, evidently that cat doesn't like to go visiting at this time of the night, so we might just as well forget the whole scheme, and thanks for bringing him over here.
Well, all right, Mr. Andrews. I'm sorry it didn't work.
I found the cat.
You found what?
Oh, boy.
Oh, dear.
Oh, it's about 3 blocks away under a car, and did I have a tough time getting him out?
Jug,
And all the way back here, he kept trying to jump out of my arms.
Jug,
but I wouldn't let him go. No, sir. Bring him back alive, Jughead, they call me.
Jughead, there are a few other things I could call you.
Huh?
That is not the cat.
What isn't a cat? Don't you think I know a cat when I see one? A cat has 4 legs and a tail and...
Jughead! That is a cat, but not the cat. Jughead, do you see what Betty is holding?
Sure, a cat. And she better... A cat! She was... Betty, you mean the cat I have isn't your... But it looks just like it?
Yes, Jughead, it does. It certainly does. But that's not Betty's cat. And if you know what's good for you, you'll get rid of that strange animal as fast as you can. Before I...
Don't lose your temper.
Mary, I'm not losing my temper. I have just had all the wildlife I can stand at the moment. And I... Now, who the dickens would that be?
Oh, that must be Veronica.
Veronica? Well, what's she doing here?
Fred, don't get excited.
Well, I...
Oh, hello, Archie.
Hiya, Veronica. Veronica, what's that?
Well, that's Prince. I was afraid to come way over here all alone at this time of night, so I brought Prince along for the ride.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
My goodness, Jughead, what's that you have there?
Somebody's cat.
Veronica, get that dog out of here before there's trouble.
Oh, my goodness, Prince hates cats.
I don't think this cat likes Prince either. He scratches me.
Tommy,
Jug, hold that cat. Veronica, take that dog out of here.
No, I don't have him, please.
The cat got away.
Tommy got away, too. Oh, my goodness. Prince, come back here.
Oh, Fred, do something.
Prince is chasing both cats.
Prince, come back
everybody.
Mary, Mr. Aldrich! Veronica, you're making... Who threw that shoe?
I think it came from over there.
Archie, Now, just a minute here. Just 1 minute. And you too. That's better. Now, listen to me, all of you. Now, Veronica, please take that hound of yours home before we're all arrested for disturbing the peace, causing a riot, and obstructing traffic.
Yes, Mr. Andrews. Night, everyone. Come on.
Good night, Veronica.
Oh, good night. Now, Betty, would you please get that miniature tiger of yours down out of that tree?
All right, Mr. Andrews. Come on, Tommy. Come on down. Bad dog went away. That's a good kitty.
All right, Betty. Now you've got your cat, so thanks again. But just go home and go to sleep.
Yes, Mr. Andrews. Night, everyone.
Good night, Betty.
Thanks very much.
Well, what about that other cat up in the tree, Dad?
Hey, Mr. Andrews.
Archie, with that dog gone, the cat will come down out of that tree by itself and go back to wherever he belongs.
Hey, Mr.
And
Andrews,
that settles that. Now, I want to hear no more about mouse traps or cats or dogs. Now, is that clear?
But, Mr.
And
Andrews...
for that mouse, I don't want to hear another word about it. If he's still in this house, I hope he has a good time.
Oh, but Mr. Andrews...
Well, what is it, Jughead?
I caught the mouse.
Yes, I know, and I hope you... You caught what?
I caught the mouse. But after you people ran out here, I saw him and I caught him with my bare hands. Here, you want to see him? Jughead, but he's the cutest little mouse you ever saw.
Yes, Jughead, I'm sure he's just delightful. If you like him that much, take him home and put him in a cage and raise him to be a very happy old white-haired mouse.
Gee, thanks. I
Good.
will.
Good. And you can go home right now.
Okay. Night, everyone. And thanks for the mouse.
Jughead, you're welcome.
Good night, Jug. Thanks for helping.
Oh, that Jughead. And now, Mary, that closes the incident of the mouse. So if you don't mind, I'd like to go inside and go to sleep once and for all.
Oh, me too, Dad. I'm dead tired.
Oh, I am too, dear. This has been quite a night.
Certainly has, and I'm going straight up to bed and make believe this whole thing never happened.
Yes, dear. I know how you feel.
Now, Archie, close that door.
Yes, Dad.
All right, now let's go upstairs.
Oh, dear.
What now?
The light's still on in the kitchen.
Well, go turn it off while I lock the door.
Yes, dear.
Now, young man, we'll go upstairs and get some sleep at long last.
Oh, yes, Dad. Night.
Mary, what is it? Another mouse. Mary, you listen to me. I am not going to go.
The Andrews will be back in just a minute. But first, I'd like to remind you, our listeners, that if you'd like to see our show as part of our studio audience, just write a card or letter to Archie Andrews, NBC, Radio City 20, New York. Now, please allow time for a reply since the demand is heavy. We'll get the tickets to you just as fast as we can. That address again is Archie Andrews, NBC, Radio City 20, New York. And now back to the Andrews. It's an hour later. Mr. Andrews has convinced Mrs. Andrews that the matter of the second mouse should be left until morning. And the family has finally gotten to sleep.
Is that the phone?
Oh, who on earth can be calling at this hour?
Gee whiz, it's the telephone.
Archie, will you answer it, please?
I am, Bob. I am. Hello.
Oh, this is Jughead.
Jug, what the dickens do you want?
Oh, Archie, you know that mouse I took home?
Yes.
Well, I put it in a box, but it got out, and my mother doesn't like it running around the house. And I need my mouse trap back.
We've been listening to another chapter of The Adventures of Archie Andrews, written by Carl Jantel and based on a copyrighted feature appearing in Archie Comics magazine. Archie is played by Bob Hastings, Jughead by Harlan Stone, Mom and Dad Andrews are played by Alice Uhrman and Arthur Cole, Veronica and Betty by Gloria Mann and Rosemary Rice. Also in today's cast was animal imitator Donald Bain. This program is produced and directed by Kenneth McGregor. Listen next Saturday at this same time for more of the merry adventures of Archie Andrews. It's time to wish you a very pleasant weekend.
That was Archie from 1950, and last we have one more episode of The Aldrich Family. This is from November 9th, 1952.
Henry Aldrich!
Coming, Mother!
Yes, it's The Aldrich Family is transcribed, written by Clifford Goldsmith. As every grown-up knows, a typical teenage boy never has to go looking for interesting problems to solve. The problems come looking for the boy. And you can be sure that a new and startling one pops up every day, especially for Henry Aldrich. The scene opens in the Aldrich living room. The time is evening.
Mother, could you look at it this way?
I'm sorry, Henry, but I don't want to discuss it anymore.
Mother, don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to discuss it. I just want to ask you.
Henry, Mrs. Brown came over here to visit with me, not to listen to us argue about whether you should have a new suit.
Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Brown.
Oh, that's all right, Henry. It's nice to see you take an interest in clothes.
Sure. Mother, have you thought of it this way? You've got to buy me a new suit sometime. Why not get one tomorrow and let me get a little wear out of it?
Henry, I think it's time for you to go to bed.
Without a...
Henry?
Yes, Mother. Good night.
Good night, dear.
Good night, Mrs. Brown.
Good night, Henry.
I hope you'll pardon the way my bathrobe hangs in the back.
Yes, dear. Oh, Alice, I didn't want to say anything about it while Henry was here, but would you mind if I suggest something?
No, not at all.
But it's only because I know you don't want to buy anything that isn't absolutely necessary, but Homer has a new suit I think would fit Henry.
Really?
He put it on just once, and Alice, believe it or not, it's been hanging in the closet ever since.
My goodness, Elizabeth.
And it's a good suit, Alice. Homer's uncle sent it to him only the other day.
You don't say.
Yes, and he's an awfully good dresser. He sells things all over the country. And the suit, Alice, well, when you first see it, you might say, well...
Yes?
But when you stand off at a distance, dear, the checks, they're brown with a sort of orange stripe in the background. Well, the checks all seem to blend right in.
And Homer refused to wear it?
Yes, but he doesn't care a thing about clothes. You know how Homer is. Oh, sometimes I think he doesn't care about anything.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, Alice, you just don't know. Why, I said to him, Homer, that suit will make people stop and look at you. And Alice, he acted just the way he does about broccoli and salad.
Mother!
Yes, Henry?
Did you know that the government expects a wool shortage before spring?
Dear, I want you to get right into bed.
Yes, Mother. Only don't you think we should take advice from our own government?
Good night, dear. Elizabeth, are you positive you wouldn't mind Henry having that suit?
Alice, I think it will teach Homer a lesson. And if you aren't doing anything now, why don't we walk over to my house and get the suit?
That's a wonderful idea. I'll put it on the chair beside Henry's bed in the morning and surprise him.
Good breakfast, Alice. Good breakfast.
Hem, you're not leaving for the office this early, are you?
Sorry, goodbye.
Goodbye, dear.
Tell Henry I'm sorry I didn't see him before he came down.
I will.
Mother!
Yes, Mary?
Where's Henry?
He'll be down in just a few minutes, dear. He's in the bathroom washing.
Oh.
And, Mary, while he's in there, I want you to take this up to his room so he doesn't see you and lay it on his chair.
This, Mother?
Yes, Mary. I just finished pressing it.
Oh, what are you going to do? Cover his chair with it?
What do you mean, cover his chair?
Well, isn't it a slip cover or something?
Now, Mary, that's a perfectly good suit.
Mother, you mean Henry has to wear that? Where did you get it?
Dear Mrs. Brown gave it to Henry. And the only reason you don't care for it is because it's folded. And you're standing too close to it.
But, Mother, you can see these checks a block away.
Now, dear, please take it upstairs.
Yes, Mother. I just hope Henry doesn't find out that I had anything to do with it.
Now, Mary?
Hi, Mrs. Aldrich. Is Henry ready for school?
Why, good morning, Homer. Aren't you just a bit early?
Boy, I'll say. I wanted to get out of the house before... I was afraid my mother might make me wear a... Good morning.
Well, Homer, I'm afraid it's going to be some time before Henry gets down, and... dear, you don't want to be late, do you?
Oh, I don't mind waiting.
Oh.
Has he had his breakfast yet?
No, Homer.
Are you having hot cakes? Mother!
Yes, Henry?
What's this thing up here?
What thing?
This thing on my chair.
Why, Henry, that's for you.
For me? This?
Yes, you asked for one, didn't you?
I asked for a rug?
Henry, if you'll unfold it, you'll see it is not a rug.
Well, what is it, Mrs. Aldrich?
Well, gee whiz.
Just put it on, dear.
Well, what's he got, Mrs. Aldrich? What's he got?
What's that, Homer?
Mother, I don't mean to criticize, but where did you get this?
Well, what is it, Mrs. Aldrich? What is it?
Homer, I'm sorry to be inhospitable, but Henry may have a lot on his mind when he comes down. Homer, you better be going. Now, goodbye.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Mother.
Henry, aren't you in school yet?
I've got time, Mother. I just had to phone and ask you something.
Dear, where are you?
Well, I'm just 3 blocks down the street. And, Mother, here's what I want to ask you.
Well?
It's about this darn suit I'm wearing.
Now, Henry, I don't want to hear you speak that way about that suit again.
Well, I didn't mean to be disrespectful about it, Mother. Don't misunderstand me, only... You think this is really a school suit?
Henry, if you didn't wear it to school, where would you wear it?
Well, that's true.
Now, dear, just think back a minute. Remember how we both agreed it made you look much bigger and older?
Well...
And didn't even Mary tell you how nice you look in it?
Yes.
And there you are, dear.
But I remember only last week we all had to tell Mary we liked her dress, and boy...
Just a minute, Henry. Mary, please go away from here. Do you want Henry to hear you?
What's that?
Nothing, Henry. Mary was just saying something about a slipcover for a chair or something.
Oh, boy, Henry. Oh, boy.
Hiya, Willie. Wait a minute. I'll walk down the corridor with you.
Where did you get it, Henry?
Nice morning, isn't it, Willie, old-timer?
Boy, pipe the new suit.
Hi, Toby.
Hey, Henry, take it off. We know who you are.
You going to history, Toby?
Don't get near me, Henry. You want to blind me?
That's what I say, Henry. Flashing a thing like that right in a guy's eye.
And wait, fellas. Who do you think's going to win the game Saturday?
Hey, Jimmy, look at Henry.
Hello, Henry.
Oh, hello, Lucy. You going to history?
My goodness.
What's the matter? What are you looking at me like that for?
My goodness. Turn around.
What for?
I want to see whether there's a belt in the back.
Now, listen, Lucy. This suit happens to be all wool.
I'll say. And a yard wide.
Hey, Lucy.
Homer, look.
At what? Well, gee whiz. Henry, is that... Now, listen, Henry, let me see that.
What's the matter, Homer?
Well, I'll be darned.
What?
Sure. That's what I thought the minute I saw it. That's my Uncle Oscar's.
What, Homer?
Well, sure it is. I could tell that suit a mile away.
You're crazy, Homer. My mother bought this suit for me.
Well, you're crazy yourself. Here he is, Charlie. Take a look at that suit.
Yeah. Where are my dark glasses? The coat and pants are all one piece.
Listen, fellas, I want you to meet my Uncle Oscar. Hi, Oscar.
Hi.
Oh, Homer, you're killing me.
Homer, I'm warning you. I've got just so much patience.
I suppose you think I'm making it up about my Uncle Oscar.
Sure you are.
All right, Henry, I'll prove it to you. Let me see the label.
Now, wait, Homer, keep your hands off me.
Go ahead, Homer. You want me to hold them for you?
Sure.
Now, Homer, I warn you, keep your hands off this.
Henry, is that you?
Hello, Eleanor.
Well, aren't you going to be late to history?
Wait. Late, Eleanor?
What are you getting red about, Oscar?
For the last time, fellas, let's cut this out and just all go to history.
You got any checkers with you, fellas? Lie down, Oscar, so we can play a game.
Is that so, Willie? Well, I'll have you understand this suit never belonged to Homer's uncle.
What does it say on the label, Homer? Here, I'll show you.
Stand back, Homer, stand back.
Why? Why should I?
Sure, go ahead, Homer. That's your uncle's suit, and you can do anything you want.
Sure I can.
For the last time, Homer, remember what I said.
Go ahead, Oscar, sock 'em.
Sure I will. And stop calling me Oscar.
You mustn't fight right here in school.
I'm not fighting, Eleanor. I'm just protecting myself.
Go ahead, Homer. Pile into him. I suppose you think I'm afraid to take another step.
Well, why don't you then?
Now, listen, Willie, quit pushing me. He took another step, Henry. He took another step.
Well, that one doesn't count. But, Homer, if you take another, boy, will you Will you? Stand back, fellas. Stand back and give them room.
Boys, I think you're both just awful. Are you really going to fight?
Lucy, I hope you don't think... I hope you don't... Has anybody got the time?
Yes, it's time for history.
It is?
Well, listen, Homer, it's a very good thing for you it is.
And it's a very good thing for you, too, Henry. You mean you're going to quit?
Hey, Toby, let's get the two of them together at 3 o'clock. Hey, that's an idea. Right after the last period.
Today? You mean I got to fight Homer at 3 o'clock?
That's
Sure,
right, Oscar.
Well, what for? I mean, I've got to fight Henry?
Sure, Homer.
Well, that's fine.
Sure. That's fine.
Elizabeth,
Yes, Will?
was that Homer on the phone?
Yes, dear. He wanted me to get him out of school early this afternoon.
What for? I hope you didn't tell him you would.
Oh, no, Will, of course I didn't. But he literally begged me to make an appointment for him at the dentist.
Homer did?
Before the last period this afternoon.
That's the trouble with you, Elizabeth. You're just spoiling him. You let him have his own way about everything.
Will, I told him definitely he could not leave early, even if he does need some dental work done.
Oh, good. And what's more, Elizabeth, I think it's time we put our foot down and made him wear that suit that Oscar sent him.
Yes, dear, I agree with you. Only first, I think maybe I ought to tell you something.
Well?
Now, don't fly off the handle, Will, and don't hit the ceiling. Only
what?
I gave it to Henry Aldrich.
You did
Now,
what?
Will Brown, Homer is your son, and he has your stubbornness, and I just couldn't go through life fighting both of you over one suit.
I know, Elizabeth, but suppose Oscar arrives and wants to see how it looks on Homer.
But, dear, we can't go over and ask Henry to return the suit, can we?
Why not? Which is more important, Henry or my brother Oscar, who makes $11,000 a year?
Look, Lucy. Look at what somebody put up on the bulletin board. Where, Eleanor? Right in front of you. That big poster. Today at 3 o'clock, the fight of the century. Oh, my goodness. Homer Brown versus Oscar the Flash. Oh, come on, Lucy. We'll be late for English. All right. Where's the fight going to be, Eleanor? I don't know. I certainly hope you aren't going. Well, I just hate fights. But I haven't anything else to do.
Hi, Lucy. Have you seen Homer anyplace?
No, I haven't, Toby.
You know what I told him I'd do for him?
What, Toby?
Be his second this afternoon.
His what?
His second. And Willie's going to be Henry's second.
You mean when Henry and Homer get tired of fighting, you and Willie are going to fight?
No, we tell him what to do, and then we give him water to drink.
My goodness, they're even going to drink water?
Hey, Toby.
Hi, Charlie.
The football team's getting up a petition for the coach to cancel practice this afternoon so they can all go see the fight.
My goodness, you think I'd be making a mistake if I didn't see it?
Lucy, it's a grudge fight. Why, it's been building up for 3 years.
Oh, let's go into English.
Quiet, please. Quiet. Class will come to order.
Hello, Henry.
Hi, Eleanor.
Henry, what are you sitting way back here for?
Oh, I just decided to change my seat.
Quiet, please. Now, please turn to page 103. By the way, Henry Aldrich, may I ask why you're sitting way back there in the last row?
Why, I just happened to sit down here.
Would you mind standing up when you speak, please?
No, Miss Eggleston.
Oh, my goodness. Quiet, please, quiet. I don't see anything funny to laugh at. And, Henry, as long as you do not like your regular seat, suppose you come right down here and take this seat in the front row by me.
Now?
Yes, please. Quiet, quiet. Seems to me, Henry, you should have plenty to do without deliberately upsetting this entire class.
Yes, Miss Eggleston. You want me to sit here?
Well, as long as you're standing, I'll call on you first.
To read?
Please start with the first paragraph at the top of page 103.
Yes, Miss Eggleston. During the mauve decade at the end of the 19th century, there passed across the English literary scene a figure whose prominence derived not only from his writing, but from his elaborate taste in clothes. This man was Oscar
Oscar the Flash!
Gee whiz, Oscar Wilde!
Beth, I want you to come into the living room and meet a business friend of mine.
Sam, you mean you brought him home for lunch?
Now, Alice, he doesn't expect much. Just have something real nice.
But Sam...
Mother!
Yes, Mary, I'm in the dining room.
Mother, I was just downtown, and what do you think somebody told me?
I've got to go back to the kitchen and take off this apron.
Father, would you like to hear what I heard about Homer Brown?
Mary, there's a gentleman in the living room who's come to town on a rather important... Mary, are you going to wear that dress for lunch?
Why, I planned to, Father.
Yeah? I suppose you run upstairs and see whether you can't...
You mean you want me to put on something a little nicer?
Yes, Mary.
Mother!
Henry, come here, please.
I'll ask Mother what I should put on.
Henry, where are you?
Right here in the hall. Is there something you want?
Yeah, I want you to come in and meet... Henry.
I know it, Father. But I can't help it. Mother made me wear it.
That thing? Where did she...
That's what I'd like to know.
Turn around.
Father, who is it you want me to meet?
No one.
Henry, what are you doing home for lunch?
Well, Mother, I just thought I'd rather eat here.
Here, dear? Isn't this hot dog day in the school cafeteria?
Well, yes, Mother, and I like hot dogs, but frankly, I don't enjoy eating them in a place where everyone's there and sees...
Oh, my goodness.
Now listen, Mary.
But, Henry.
Mary, I thought you were going upstairs and change your dress.
I am, only you mean I have to change and you're going to let Henry...
Now, Mary?
Yes, Mother. Only first, did I tell you what I heard about Homer?
What about him?
He's going to be in a big fight with somebody this afternoon. Fight with...
He is?
Yes, Henry, with Oscar somebody. Who could that be?
Why... With Oscar?
My goodness, the whole town's talking about it.
Henry, I think if Homer's going to turn out to be that kind of a boy, the less you have to do with him, the better.
You're sure, Mother? I don't like any of that crowd at school. That's why I thought I'd come home for lunch.
Henry, you're not going to eat here with us, are you?
Well, yes, Father, but not in this. I'm going to go upstairs and change first.
Henry, you can't possibly change. Your other suit is at the tailor's.
Well, Mother, at least I can go up and put on my corduroys.
No, dear, your corduroys are in the wash. Now, turn around and show your father the shoulders. That's an excellent suit.
Yes.
And feel it, Sam.
Feel it?
Gee whiz, Father, be honest. Just now when you first saw this suit, you almost fainted.
Who, I?
Yeah, sure.
Sam.
Yeah, Henry, it's an excellent suit. I hadn't seen the back before.
But you really think it's worth fighting over?
I'm simply telling you it's handsome. Now go ahead and wear it.
Well, Mr. Aldrich, is this your family here in the hall?
Yes, Mr. Thomas. This is Mrs. Aldrich, dear. This is Mr. Thomas.
How do you do?
And I'm sorry, but my daughter Mary's just stepped out.
Well, is that Henry I see right behind you?
Yes, this is Henry. He just came home to put on a costume for a school play he's in. Now he's got to rush right back.
What's that, Father?
Goodbye, Henry. Goodbye, and good luck.
The Aldrich family has been family listening for a long time. But here at NBC, we have a number of families who bring you top comedy. Tonight, why not stay tuned for the Harris family? You'll find Phil, Alice, the two Harris girls, Brother William, and of course a half hour of real entertainment. Great stars of the screen will be featured next on NBC when Theatre Guild on the Air presents Rosalind Russell and Mel Ferrer in Lloyd Douglas's drama Magnificent Obsession. Action comes next with a duo of top adventure shows, Dragnet and Barry Craig, confidential investigator. And also this evening, Martha Roundtree and Lawrence Spivak bring you America's only public press conference, Meet the Press. So stay tuned to NBC for your top radio shows. Now getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Because Henry has had to wear a suit that formerly belonged to Homer Brown's Uncle Oscar, he's suffered more than his share from the gang at school. As a result, the students have scheduled an open fight at 3 o'clock this afternoon between Henry and Homer. The scene opens in the principal's office.
Come in.
Did you want to see me here in your office, Mr. Bradley?
Yes, Miss Eggleston. Sit down. I hope I didn't call you from any class.
No, Mr. Bradley.
Miss Eggleston, I happened to pass by your English class this morning, and frankly, it seemed to me I heard more disturbance than was really necessary.
Mr. Bradley, may I say something?
Yes, Miss Eggleston, just as soon as I am finished. A reasonable amount of laughter is quite in order in any class. But when the students sound as though they were rolling on the floor, I can only conclude that the teacher has lost all control.
Now, may I say something, Mr. Bradley?
Yes, Miss Eggleston, as soon as I have finished. As I passed by your partly open door, it seemed to me that in the midst of all this commotion, I saw you laughing.
But, Mr. Bradley, I'm only human.
Beg your pardon?
Oh, I'm sorry, but it would be impossible for me to describe what happened.
Now, come, Miss Eggleston, I can appreciate a joke just as much as anyone.
Oh, but, Mr. Bradley, I didn't mean to insinuate that you couldn't. I just meant...
Regardless of what you meant, that's certainly the way it sounded. And to be frank, I think it would be very wise if I visited your class tomorrow. Come in.
You sent for me, Mr. Bradley?
Yes, Willie, come in.
That will be all, Mr. Bradley?
That will be all. And tomorrow we'll all have a good laugh together.
Very well.
Now then, Willie.
Yes, Mr. Bradley?
Close the door, please.
Oh, yes, Mr. Bradley. Well, I had a talk with them, Mr. Bradley. I told them just exactly what you said. So there won't be a public fight on the school grounds this afternoon.
You made it quite clear, Willie?
Oh, yes, Mr. Bradley.
And the fight is off entirely?
Well, not entirely. That is, instead, we decided... they're going to have it on the vacant lot in back of... Well, it isn't going to be on the school grounds.
Willie, I understand you are one of the ringleaders in all this.
Who, I, Mr. Bradley? A ringleader? Oh, no. I'm just a second.
You're sure of that?
Oh, Mr. Bradley, if there's one thing I hate to see, it's two guys in a good fight.
Well, I suppose if they've got to get it out of their system... understand, Willie, I am emphatically against boys fighting. But if it's off the school grounds, I don't see how I can in any way interfere.
Yes, Mr. Bradley.
That will be all.
Yes, Mr. Bradley.
Oh, Willie, just one moment.
Yes, Mr. Bradley.
Where did you say this fight is going to be held?
Why, I didn't say.
Yes, that will be all.
Hey, fellas, look what I've got for Homer. A pail and a sponge.
Oh, that's nothing. Look at what I got for Henry the sockman. A lemon. Who's going to keep time?
I am, Willie, I am. Where's Henry and Homer?
Oh, they'll be along. Henry said he'd get here as fast as he could. Boy, was he anxious to get into this.
Well, Homer was anxious, too. He said he wouldn't be late.
My goodness, Eleanor, isn't this exciting? I think it's terrible, Lucy. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I can hardly
What time is it, Homer?
It's, exactly 25 minutes after 3.
Is that right?
It's a pretty good soda, isn't it, Henry?
Boy, I'll say.
And don't misunderstand me. I'd be perfectly willing to go over to that lot and fight you, Henry, only...
Sure, I know what you mean. And I hope you don't think I wouldn't be willing to fight you, Homer. Gee whiz, I'd be willing to knock your block off for you. But as the fellow at the soda fountain just told you, your father's been looking all over town for you.
Sure. And if he wants me to keep an appointment at the dentist or something, well, naturally, I can't disobey him.
Naturally. Hey, Homer, don't look toward the door now, but I think some of the gang just went by.
You think they're still looking for us?
Sure.
Let's have another soda.
I'll pay for this one.
Oh, no, Henry, you let me.
Well, you're crazy, Homer. I got a quarter right here.
Now, wait a minute. Oh, gee whiz, did I knock it out of your hand?
Well, that's all right, Homer. It's right down here on the floor someplace.
Oh, wait a second, Henry. You let me get it for you.
Well, I'm already under the table, Homer.
So am I.
Hey, fellas, here they are. Where, Charlie?
They're wrestling under the table.
What?
Oh, gee whiz.
Listen, fellas, don't you realize the whole school is waiting for you over at the lot?
Who, us? Now, listen, Homer, will you stop twisting my ankle?
Henry, take your hands off my throat. Lucy, they haven't even swung at each other yet.
They haven't? Well, what are they doing then?
Open your eyes and you'll see.
Oh, my goodness. They're at least 6 feet away from each other.
Rush them, Henry, rush them.
Sure I will, sure I will.
Homer, what do you keep circling around them for?
I'm measuring them. Come on, let's have some action.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Henry.
Here's on.
How can I hit him? Look at him keep backing away.
You're crazy. You're backing away yourself.
I am not. Oop. What happened? Hey, who tripped me?
Hey, help Henry up, somebody.
Liz, I'm all right. Now listen, Homer, stop running all around me like that.
Who's running? Who's running?
Oh, that's talking to him, Homer. That's telling him where to get off.
Homer, tell him what you think of his suit. Go on.
Sure. Some suit. You look just like my Uncle Oscar.
Now listen, Homer, if you call me that once more, I'll...
Henry, go after him. Sock him.
I'm going to. Gee whiz.
Homer Brown here.
Is that you? Do I have to go to the dentist?
You come with me.
Now?
Mr. Brown, you mean I can't beat Homer up?
And as for you, Henry Aldrich, you come along, too. And bring that suit with you.
Boy, am I ashamed.
Well, listen, Homer, here we are all the way out in the edge of town. Gee whiz, I'm tired walking.
Boy, am I ashamed.
Oh, it doesn't look so bad on you, Homer, now that the sun's gone down. All the checks are sort of blended together.
Yeah, I know. But my father said I've got to wear this suit to school tomorrow. Listen, Henry, you've already broken it in. Wouldn't you like to wear it?
Homer, didn't your father tell you I couldn't keep it? That he wanted you to have the pleasure of wearing it?
Yeah, sure. But do you think I want everyone in town to call me Oscar this and Oscar that for as long as I live here?
I wonder...
You wonder what?
I don't suppose we could burn the suit, could we?
Right on me?
Well,
the only thing is, Henry, my father wouldn't believe it was an accident. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, let's go back into town then.
Oh, no, not until it's pitch black.
Hey, Homer, look out.
What's the matter?
You see what I see crawling across the road?
Henry, what is that?
Gee whiz, it's a skunk, isn't it?
Henry, is that a skunk? Are you sure it's a skunk?
Sure it is.
Here, kitty. Here, kitty. Come to Homer.
Homer, hurry. He's getting away from you.
Right now, even in November, many sections of the country are unusually dry. This increases the danger of forest fires. So every time you're out in the fields or forest, follow these rules. Crush out cigarette, cigar, and pipe ashes. Break matches in two after using them. Drown all campfires, then stir and drown them again. Learn and respect the law before starting any fire. Forest rangers can fight forest fires, but only you can prevent them.
That you, Homer?
Yes, Father.
Are you back already?
Well, Father, it's like this.
Homer, didn't I tell you to go down to the dentist?
Well, yes, sir, I did. Only he said he'd rather wait a week or two before he works on me.
The Aldrich Family is transcribed as written by Clifford Goldsmith. Henry is played by Bobby Ellis and Homer by Jack Grimes. Mr. and Mrs. Aldrich are House Jameson and Catherine Roth. Your announcer is Dick Dudley. Listen again next week, same time, same station, for another sparkling half hour with the Aldrich Family.
Good night, everybody.
Tonight, it's the Phil Harris-Alice Faye Show on NBC.